Okay, this video I'm making because I had a fellow email me about making these cartridges with the English Kerr bullet. I think he was having a little difficulty with it. And so I just want to clarify some few things. My kits are made to work best with the Johnson & Dow bullet. So if you're using any other bullet, the the results are going to vary. So I just want to make that clear that these kits are made to utilize the Johnson & Dow bullet. And the Johnson & Dow bullet was originally made to be, it was designed to be used with paper cartridges. The English Kerr bullet was not. And so the length of the heel here and the way it's shaped allows the envelope here a lot of contact area. And when you insert the bullet, in a tapered envelope, it'll actually go in and stretch out the envelope. So you can see on this one, you can see kind of a line here where it stretched it. So that's what you want to see with the Johnson & Dow bullet. So it actually stretch fits and fits on there tight like that. And so that one I fitted a few times. But if you put one like this that's not been had a bullet inserted into it, there should be a wiggle, which will wedge itself in and should stay put even without glue. So that's the kind of fit you want for a correct paper cartridge with the Johnson & Dow bullet. And the problem with the Kerr bullet is the Kerr bullet has this nice chamfer on the bottom, which does not allow for that to happen. So when you insert the bullet, it kind of goes in almost all the way real easy. Now, if this had a nice square, if that chamfer was gone, it would work exactly like the Johnson & Dow bullet. And so you can see here where it's kind of loose, where the Johnson & Dow bullet doesn't wiggle at all. It's nice and tight. It's got a really tight interface between the envelope and the bullet, whereas the Kerr bullet does not. And from what I've seen, most English bullets were always made with a skin casing like this. So this is my reproduction of an Ely skin and paper cartridge. So it was a skin, this is a sausage casing with the actual bag tied to the bullet using the bottom groove. So these two bullets were designed to use a different method of construction and different materials for the envelopes. So this one was made for paper. This bullet here was made to be tied with a skin bag for holding the powder. And so here's another version of it. This is the Hayes style with the reinforcing thread, and this is also tied. And so almost all British cartridges were made like this. So therefore, they did not need a nice square heel on it to wedge into the envelope, because when you tie it, it'll tighten up and it'll stay put. So they don't quite work as well as for paper cartridges, but they will work. It might be a little more difficult. So if you want to make paper cartridges, I would recommend the Johnson & Dow bullet, not the Kerr bullet. It's a lot easier to make cartridges with the Johnson & Dow rather than the English Kerr. And so I'm just going to go through here. And the other key is making sure the envelope is wrapped and fits tight on the mandrel. And this is the technique I used to do this, to make sure it is exactly the same size as this mandrel. And that is, you just glue down the side on the end here, and then I hold it like this with these three fingers, and then my index and thumb, and I hold it like this. And then these two fingers, I push this flap over like this. So now I got like a triangle here, 3 points, 1, 2, and 3. And then I wrap the envelope below the black line. Just make sure you're about an 1/8 inch below that, and then kind of just take this finger, and I use my fingernail, kind of roll that over and press that seam down. You see this is kind of loose fitting, and then just hold the seam with your thumb and index finger, and then counterclockwise twist and you'll hear this. It should be squeaky tight up to the black line, or at least halfway. You will at least want to see part of the black line, at least half of it. Any more than that, and then the top gets really big, and then your bullet will be loose. And so then hold the seam with your thumb, push the end flap over, push it over again. Take your thumb, hold this part down, and then just take these two little flaps here and fold it so you'll have two folds like that. Insert that into your outer form like this, and then I usually hold the edge with my finger where the seam is at, and then just give this a turn in the wrap direction of your envelope. So I turn it, so if you're looking from the end, it's clockwise like this. If you turn it this way, it might unravel the envelope and make it bigger. So you want to turn it clockwise like this. And then when you remove it, just gently remove it like that till it dries. And so that's the correct way to make an envelope and have it sized correctly. Don't do this. If you don't go up to the black line, wrap it around like this, it will never be tight. Sometimes it'll be tight here, but not down here. And then you fold it over like this, and you might get it right every once in a while, but there's going to be times where you'll make that one that'll be too big or too small. And I found the percentage of oversized envelopes is higher when you roll it at the line. And I've had a lot of practice doing this, so I can probably get away with it, but I don't even do that. So to me, this would be a little bit too big. You know, it's not really tight on that mandrel when I remove it. So it's kind of like this. You want to hear it squeak. And push the flap over. So that's it for making the envelopes. As far as filling them goes, with these scoopers, to get the correct amount on them, I scoop it like this. Just tilt the excess off like that. And so that should be the correct amount. You can go, if you have a ruler or something, kind of level that off like this. And when you tap it, it should fit. It should be about an 1/8 inch below the top of the top edge here. Maybe a little less than that. I don't know how much that is. Yeah, it's about an 1/8 inch or so. Maybe 3/32. And if you want to pack it tight, if you want to go like this, have something like that, you can always stuff pieces of round cut paper in the bottom to change the volume of this, or just use your own lead dipper, whatever fills the envelope to the right height. And so when you fill an envelope on these, I'm going to make one here with the Kerr bullet, and you want to make sure it's kind of on the bottom. this. And I don't really like using scoops. I like to actually weigh every single individual one. That way I know they're exactly the same. Because scooping, to me, is an inaccurate way to do it. But if I didn't add a scoop to it, somebody would complain, oh, you need to add a scoop. Well, so I added a scoop. And so fill it like this. And then you have to tap the make sure it's level. And when it's leveled, it should be to the level to the top of this. So if it's above this edge here, then it's too full, and should get a little bit of a crunch when you put your bullet in. So I'm going to do one here with English Kerr bullet, and this is nitrocellulose glue. This is the Three Rivers Archery stuff. I have in bulk, so I just use that. It's the same stuff I use on my hazard cartridges. So something like that. Insert your bullet, kind of press and wiggle a little bit. And so you'll have something like this. And so I kind of lift it upside down, push it out. And then when I'm done here, I will just kind of go like this and kind of go like that. Press that seam in. That's your finished cartridge. With the Johnson & Dow, you don't have to really do that. So what you do is I like to use my drop tube. The drop tube gets rid of this tapping, this part of it. Saves a couple seconds per cartridge, so you make a lot of them, it adds up. So you want to make sure it's kind of level, something like this. And then I have a pin on this little bottle here, and I have a pin. So if this thing ever gets clogged up, I can just go like this. And it doesn't take a whole lot of glue. Something like that. Sure it's level in there. And then I like to find a seam here. Rock it in from the seam. Press. And so you can kind of just drop it out like that and you're done. So that's about it. I just wanted to clarify that. If anybody's having difficulty using the English Kerr bullet, there's a few tips for that. Thank you. Thanks for watching.